Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Kim, and if you're new here, welcome to Move by Kim, where we train smart, we train strong, and we train for everyday life. Not just that one beach vacation you may have coming up, although we're good for that here as well. For today, we're going to be breaking down one of the most fundamental movement patterns that we do as humans, and that is the squat. So whether you're new to training, maybe you're back from postpartum, maybe you've been working out for a long time but want to brush up on your form, this is for you. So let's get to it. Okay, so first, why are we going to be breaking down the squat?
It's so easy, Kim. You just squat.
Well, that is exactly why we're going to break it down, because it is so easy and you do it every single day, even when you don't think you do it. When you're sitting in a chair, when you're picking up a kid, and if you have kids that are pre-walking, you are always doing this movement. And we want to make sure that we're doing it correctly. So if we talk about training intentionally, which is what I talk about a lot, we want to make sure that we are doing it the best way you possibly can, so that when we are doing these movement patterns outside of our actual training days, we're taking that knowledge instinctively because it's in our body, but we're taking it and we're doing it correctly in the real world, which is where a lot of injuries do happen. And this movement directly, the squat, involves your hamstrings, your quads, your glutes, and your core, and your pelvic floor. So if you're postpartum, listen up, because this is for you. We're setting up our squat. The biggest thing that I hear from clients is like, where do I put my feet, right? And you'll see a lot of trainers out there giving you specifically hips over knees, knees over ankles. That's not always true because everyone's hips are different. Some are a little bit wider, some are a little bit more narrow. So what you want to try to do is have your legs out to that space that feels comfortable for you. It is a squat, it is a workout, so it won't feel fully comfortable. When you want to feel that as you're going down in your squat, you're not pinching anything, it's not feeling tight and restrictive, that you can do that move as natural as possible, right? So once you find that leg position, the width that works for you, toes can also go out a little bit. Many women actually need to have their toes out just a bit at the 10 and 11, the 10 and 2 position, because our hips are wider, right? So find that perfect position. One of the biggest things that I highly recommend is to practice without shoes on, especially thicker shoes. A lot of people practice in these really thick running shoes. You want your feet to engage with the ground. So you want that sensory connection between the bottoms of your feet and your brain to really grasp onto the ground, because if you're thinking about it, if you're doing moves that are standing, it starts from the feet up. So we really want our feet to be able to be in touch with the ground and hug it nicely. So all 4 points of your feet, big toe, pinky toe, both parts of your heel, really engage with the ground. Hands can go at heart center. Maybe we can put them here while we practice this move, or at our hips. Before you start moving down, what I really want you to think of is bracing your core. Imagine someone's coming in, you have a kid, your child. I'm a parent, I use child analogies a lot. So imagine you have your kid coming and running, like oftentimes my 7-year-old do come running after me. I brace myself, right? So I don't fall over. Think of that. Or if someone's coming at you with a punch to the stomach, you want to brace your core, right? Your core is also the center of many movements that we oftentimes forget about, because this is a lower body move. It's not a core active move, but you want to brace your core.
Now we move. Hinge at the hips and bend at the knees simultaneously. Think about sitting back and down like there's a chair behind you. Keep your chest tall, your spine long, and your knees tracking in line with your toes. No caving inward. Lower until your thighs are as close to parallel to the floor as feels comfortable for you. If your mobility isn't there yet, that is completely fine. Go as low as you can with good form. Depth is not the goal, quality is the goal. Then drive through your heels to stand back up, squeeze your glutes to the top, and exhale. Think of pressing the top of your head towards the ceiling. That's one rep.
Okay, so now you know how to do it. Let's get into some of the most common mistakes that I see when I'm working with clients, right? The first one is a forward lean. I'll oftentimes see clients going into their squats like this. That oftentimes means that you're not bracing your core enough. It's not holding your body up. You want to have a natural movement forward with that hinge, that hips. think the only reason why anything would move up here is because of a reaction of what's happening behind you. So if we're going like we're sitting in a chair, it's a natural kind of inclination to lean forward, but you want to brace your core enough where it doesn't make you drop forward. So if your core is nice and sturdy, you're just gonna have a slight lean, but mostly that chest is lifted, heart shining forward. You can try elevating your heels with little wedges, or even a couple of books you can put there. Sometimes if we elevate the heels a little bit more, that helps us to maintain that upright with our chest. But think, embrace that core, strengthen it nice and strong. Keep thinking heart is shining forward, even though that natural, as you sit back, that natural hinge happens just by sheer reaction, not as an active move. The second thing I'll see is knee valgus, or knees caving in as a squat is happening. So you can actually look at this yourself, right? As you're squatting, do you see your knees caving in? It could be big like this, or even the slight come in like that. We don't want that. That puts a lot of strain on the knees, especially down here. You want to keep that, again, we're injury safe here. A lot of times with postpartum clients, I will see this because our inner thighs and our glutes are strengthening back up again, especially if you had a pregnancy that had you kind of down and out those last couple of months. We got to regain that strength, or you've been nursing for a few months and you're sitting a lot. That can tend to happen, but what you can do, you either get a ball or a band. The ball really helps to activate the adductors, your inner thighs, and you would squeeze in. So if the ball prevents the knees from caving in. You're having them right above the knees. Never put an instrument on a joint. So you want it above the knees, right there, right in the inner thigh. And as you squat, you can squeeze in, adds a little bit more fun for there. If you don't have a ball and you have a band, you're placing your band, and as you are squatting, you want to think to push out on that band, right? So we don't want to go too much where we're making a diamond with our legs, but just enough to keep the knees straight ahead of us. Fourth thing I will see is sometimes clients will be squatting, and the heels come up. That could mean that you're going down too low. So if you start to go down, you start to feel the heels lifting up, don't go down as low, right? Lessen your range of motion. Your mobility may not be there yet. It will get there. You're doing these movements all the time, perfecting the quality of the move instead of the depth of range, quality over quantity. You will get there soon. So stop. If right here you start to feel some lifting, you want to stop, come on up, right? It's also a really great way to gauge yourself in your growth, as you'll notice yourself getting lower and lower and not lifting the heels. You know you're doing correctly, and you're getting stronger and perfecting that skill more. And a final thing that I see in most workouts, to be quite honest with you, is the lack of breathing. You really want to find your breath when you're working out. It can be really hard to think about because you're thinking about 8 other things happening, and the breathing, ironically, is one of the last things people think about, and all of a sudden, you're breathing, and you're like,
Oh my gosh, what happened to me?
we weren't breathing. So when you're doing your squat, you want to inhale on that lower, exhale on that rise. Inhale, exhale, right? Add power. The breath, also ironically, if you're thinking more about your breathing, especially in those challenging moments of your workout, it can make the workout feel lighter in a way, a little bit easier. You're exhaling on the exertion. You're exhaling on the power. You don't want the buildup of pressure in your abdominals that can come, especially when you start adding weights to your squats. You want to find that inhale on the lower, exhale. Give yourself power. And as you build confidence in your squat when you're working out, as you feel like my core is engaging, my knees are doing, everything's tracking right, then you're gonna add your weights to that. Then you can play with time and tempo. When you get really comfortable, something that I find really, you don't even need weights. You could just do these 10 reps at like 3 sets of some basic body weight squats, and you're gonna feel great afterwards. Is lowering and then thinking explosion up. You're pressing all points of your feet into the ground, and you're really coming up. Tendency is to come back, come up, and engage those glutes. Squeeze the glutes at the top, right? So you're using your hamstrings down, then you're squeezing your glutes, and you're finding a full hip extension. And all that means is it's coming from that hinging position to that lengthening position in those hips, right? Maybe you're taking a 3 count down. Maybe you're holding 3 counts, power up 1. 3 count down, hold 3 counts, power up 1. Maybe you're pulsing in your squats. Whatever it is, as you begin to play with that, keep focusing on the parts of the move that help you find your strength, that help you make sure that you're moving in the correct patterns. Then play around with it and have some fun. If a squat is not accessible to you right now, don't worry, I got you. Pull a chair behind you. Do a box squat or a chair squat. You're gonna squat down, you're gonna sit in that chair, you're gonna stand back up. You're gonna build those leg and those glute muscles up. You're gonna do that for a little bit, and then you're gonna keep trying. You're gonna get that chair, that box out of the way. You're gonna try a squat without those things. There are always ways to progress a move, and there's always a way to scale a move down so that you can reach your goal of up here, right? So much of working out and fitness is the inner confidence that you can. And I think we've all had this in all parts of our life. I think fitness and working out is one of those because we are inundated with, it should look like this, it should flow like this. And while yes, the basics of moves should flow like this and that, how you get there is where we can do change and modify and fit each individual person. So you can do this. Keep showing up at the mat for yourself. There's a lot happening in the world right now. We're balancing work, family, friends, life. The time that you show up on the mat is for you and should be only for you. And the more you show up, I promise, the better your confidence will get in the move, and you will learn how strong you truly, truly are. So keep showing up for you. I'm here to help you. Keep coming back to this video.
How do I squat again? Sometimes we may forget.
Thank you. Until next time.